of a win. Well, we're celebrating the superhero weekend here at the Jio Cinema Studios, where you saw King Kohli in action last night. You'll see Rohit Sharma tomorrow, but tonight it's about Thalai at the Narendra Modi Stadium, where the man picked up the trophy, the defending champions. Hello and welcome, and we are back to Cool Stylish Fans Presents Match Centre Live. It's the business end of the tournament. This is where things get spicy, and we love it. Let's bring on our guests on the show. Well, you've got Watto as well as Anil Kumble. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Yep, common sense has prevailed. So thank you for being here, Ridhima.
All right, there we started. But let's talk about CSK. Big match tonight. CSK, well, realistically, if you take a look at that, they have to play 3 games. They've got a Gujarat Titans, they've got RR, and then they've got an RCB. Now, when you're playing Gujarat Titans, they're at number 10. What do you fare the chances of them making and sealing a playoff berth?
Oh, look, I'd be very surprised if they'd... One is being their opening batter, to be able to support Rudraj Gaikwad. Ajinkya Rahane has not been at his best at all this season. And then also just been able to work through their bowling options. Deshpande's been excellent, but also Simajit in the last game was great. A big inner sprint.
That's it. That's all we had on the show today. He's covered everything. But yes, very quickly, let's take a look at the scenarios. And realistically, with CSK's matches playoff spot guaranteed. Now, it looks like business as usual for CSK, but let's talk about Gujarat Titans. How do we see their season so far, and how much do you give them as to they can still make it to the playoff berth?
Pathak had a fantastic start to his captaincy and also to his batting, but since then he's just dropped off. And everything depends on Shubman, how well he can start the innings for GT. The opening partnership with Saha hasn't been great. Bowling, Rashid Khan, last game he got a bit of an injury with the shoulder to get the confidence back, which they haven't really had throughout the start of IPL.
Indeed, the Gujarat Titans have plenty to cover and think about, but more importantly for the Jio Cinema viewers, well, we've got a treat for you. It's the MSD in action at the Narendra Modi Stadium, and then RR on Sunday. But more importantly, CSK back here at the Narendra Modi Stadium. The man lifted the trophy here. And this...
Qualifiers, then the matches are in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
And if you can sort of get past that and get to, even if they make it to the eliminator and then get to the qualifier too, that's going to be in their home ground. And we all know how Chennai, CSK, are dominant in Chennai. So that's something that will be there.
And that should be there at the back of the mind tonight as well, is because whether it's Chennai or Ahmedabad, they have shown their dominance. Let's give you a quick recap of what happened last season.
Certainly, clear favourites in that tournament, and then going on to win that a perfect final. You can't ask for a better match to be a final of a grand spectacle.
Indeed, and Ravindra Jadeja is such a key cog in that CSK lineup, and the man is just coming into form that all of us have been waiting for. Very good news for the T20 World Cup for the Indian squad as well, and tonight he's a maverick to watch out for.
The IPL for CSK as well.
Right, just the league that he is in. But, Ravindra Jadeja, talking about the man, well, he's done it again and again, such a gun fielder with a bat or with the ball, picked up 3 wickets in the last game. But here, what all of us have been waiting for, MSD is going to be in action tonight, and all the Mahi lovers are really waiting for that. And he's entering the Narendra Modi Stadium as we speak. And this is where the...
And his body as well as they can to get the best out of his skill that he's got right now, which is as good as we've seen from a batting perspective, coming in and hitting the ball for 4s and 6s straight away. But it is little cameos that is having a huge impact for their team.
Indeed. Since you've already mentioned Coach Stephen Fleming here about what he had to say about MSD's batting position, why don't we show our viewers first that and continue the discussion here on the show.
And if CSK is in trouble, who knows?
Who knows? well, we're waiting for that. But what you did mention about, his role and the fact that there is a role defined for him. He's delivering the goods so well in the role that has been defined for him. And the strike rate at which he's batting is only second to Fraser McGurk. And he's nearing 43. How do you see that all play, and how beautiful it is to see this man play the way he does even now?
Oh, honestly, it's superhuman to be totally, not just with his cricketing abilities, but also his ability to be able to defy age that most of us can't.
And also, I guess, when he walks into bat, the bowler's thinking goes out of the window. Irrespective of his age, everyone knows that it's not easy. If you land anywhere close to him, then it's going to go for a 6. And that says a lot about MS's understanding of the game and the pressure that he creates just being there on the field to the opposition.
Goes out for a 6. Now, that is exactly what the fans are looking at and looking forward to the Narendra Modi Stadium. While the Dharamshala fans would have missed out on the Dhoni entertainment, expected to be in full swing tonight as the fans go like, "Ye dil mange more." Take a look at his 6s as we slip into a short break.
As well.
Indeed, and once again, a lot of responsibility on the man. There has been a bit of a dip in his form, but he'd like to make a comeback. But does it get a bit of a concern for CSK, especially now it's the race to the playoffs?
He has the pace and the experience. So Santner coming in, I think, is a good move with the new ball in the power play. So I think they have all bases covered. They're certainly going to miss Pathirana. I think he's the key there because of the death bowling that he brings and the ability to get wickets in that middle overs. But having said that, I think CSK they know how to manage those 20 overs. And I'm sure they have Tushar Deshpande will be the key even in this game.
All right, well, let's find out if any of these bowlers feature in our session segment of course, this particular week, which is Binga's Ball of the Week. But before we get there, let's take a short break and then we come back with it.
I think that probably gives them a little bit more firepower, and nice to see Kartik Tyagi back as well.
Indeed, Mike Hesson's lesson, the first lesson that you send out for CSK or Gujarat Titans today's match would be?
Well, I think from CSK's point of view, I think it's about actually attacking the game. I think it's one of those things that generate a score. So for me, it starts with the top and the new ball.
Indeed, you mentioned about the firepower that they lack right at the top, and here is some things that we'd like to show you, some numbers.
In the last 5 games in particular, who certainly hasn't been contributing to that run rate, but also Ridhima Saha has not been at his best at all. So whether it's a niggle or whether he's got dropped, they certainly need to be able to provide that firepower that they really do need.
It is not just Shubman Gill. There are a couple of more batters who feature in some of the lowest strike rates.
Sai Sudarshan is more a technician in terms of he loves manoeuvring around, but he needs guys around him who bring some real power and stroke play, and then he finds his feet afterwards, whereas he doesn't do that in the power play. He's actually probably a better player if he comes in over 7, can manoeuvre it and then up his strike rate. So, yeah, they find themselves playing an old-style brand of cricket at the moment, no doubt.
Indeed, but Gujarat Titans have found some boost in the middle order ever since Shah Rukh Khan has stepped in and he stitched some good partnerships with David Miller, and that's our solid bankable partnership to watch out for.
Fresh in his mind, then with those wins that they've been able to just find their way over the previous couple of seasons, that's still going to be fresh in his mind to go, you know, we can do this. We've got the firepower to be able to do it, but now's the time we need to do it because we're on the bottom and we win every game and everything falls in our way to be able to have a chance of qualifying.
Indeed. Now, before we go further, let's take a look at the teams. You've got Chennai Super Kings. Well, they'll be...
Power play.
Indeed, and it's the business end, and this is exactly where they put the metal on the pedal. Now, with that, let's take a look at the Gujarat Titans. This is the playing 11 brought to you by Dream 11. Gujarat Titans with...
Tyagi comes in because they have to replace the overseas player, so Josh Little misses out. So Tyagi, he's a talented young guy. I played him for the CSK against the Rajasthan Royals and faced him. He's got some pace. He's tall, so he gets some bounce and angle into the right-hander. So what a great opportunity for the young man.
Indeed. Is there a special matchup that you're really looking forward to? And we will talk about that. But before that, if you're making your team there, sitting at your home, well, we've got certain pit if you're playing your team, which is your fantasy team. Well, now coming out to Gujarat Titans batting first, we spoke about Shubman Gill and his dip in form, and this is where the Gujarat Titans want him to make a comeback with the bat. But the last 5 matches, what would be his takeaways from it?
I'd say mentally he hasn't quite been there. You know, he's been quite...
Out a matchup that you would be looking forward to. Do you see Shubman Gill versus Tushar Deshpande as a matchup that everybody should eye?
Yeah, look, I do. I think Deshpande showed he was so good with the new ball the other day, set the tone at Dharamshala against Punjab.
As we headed into a break, I promised you something. I promised you that special segment of the week, Binga's Ball of the Week, and here it is.
Hello.
Tushar Deshpande, you're going to see the man in action in just a couple of minutes. But before that, let's put our guests under the spotlight. It's time for predictions. It's the Hona Hai Chahiye predictions, which means it must happen. Are we seeing a better run rate in the power play from the Gujarat Titans? Something above 7 point something.
Well, you hope so, and they need to. They're going to have to fight fire with the CSK bowlers with that brand new ball. So, yeah, let's hope they get up towards the 65 mark without losing too many wickets.
How about you, Mike? Do you expect that happening, or do you see Tushar Deshpande taking away the kick again?
Oh, I see a wicket or two falling, to be honest.
But are they a couple of runs short? We'll find out. We'll plenty of talk about with Shane Watson, but we'll take a short break here, and all of that after this break.
210 at quick fire time was very impressive.
58 in the power play, 132 in the middle. Are they a 10-20 run short? The Gujarat Titans could have been worse for CSK, but the man did control the damage, and that man is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Hello, welcome. This is Cool Stylish Fans presents Match Centre live. I've got with me Graham Smith as well as Mike Hesson. Good evening, gentlemen.
Okay.
Evening, Rudy.
Well, what do you make of that win by the Gujarat Titans, and to begin with, that incredible, the brilliant partnership?
Well, listen, it was fantastic. They haven't had the best of seasons.
Get into the semi-finals, so with only really a couple of games to go, pretty exciting times the next week in the IPL.
Indeed. Now, 35-run victory out there for the Gujarat Titans. Could have been worse for CSK had Mahi not hit those 2 sixes and a 4 to finish off innings, and that gives us our Sahiya moments. Talk of the town tonight, breaking that partnership of 109 runs between Darren Mitchell and Moeen Ali, and that changed the game completely in Gujarat Titans' favour.
Yeah, it certainly did. I mean, CSK had found themselves a point where they were very much in the game. So prior to that, 3 for 10. He really changed the game.
Indeed, but the stage was set for the day by the GT openers, and that has given us our charged performance of the day.
A stage when he got the Dazzler and Moeen Ali were going great guns, and I think that performance really, was the best bowling performance on
the story as they win by 35 runs. Now, let's come to the GT openers and talk about Shubman Gill. Now, his form was a bit of a concern, and he's made a big comeback and a statement with that innings. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, we've always known that he's got that ability, shown it year after year. I think this...
And he's still got plenty more to give.
Indeed, and he had a partner in Sai Sudarshan today, and that partnership has really clicked for the Gujarat Titans more than Ridhima and Saha. They've stitched 2 50s together this opening combination.
Oh, look, I think they should, just because Sai Sudarshan loves batting in the power play. It gives him that little bit of freedom to get his innings underway. If he comes in towards the back end of the power play relationship. So for me, I'm not so sure Ridhima and Saha will play much more the rest of the season. Matty Wade, I think, gives that extra power, whether it be at 3 or the back of the innings.
Indeed, that partnership between those 2 openers will be etched in our memories for a long time, and that gives us our photos of the day. And a number of 6s and 4s in every corner of the ground. Narendra Modi Stadium was lit from this particular innings. Well, with that, let's also take a look at the points table again and see where they stand and how things stand as of now. Well, but having said that, they are the team to beat because they were the first ones to reach 16 points. And RCB have found some momentum. Does it make things difficult for CSK?
Well, I mean, it does. It makes that afternoon game on, I think it's Sunday, a key game. There's not much time for the Super Kings to turn things around on a flight tomorrow.
That sets up Sunday very beautifully, because you're having CSK and RR, and then you've got DC taking on RCB next.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that first game, I'll talk about that for a second. That first game, I think, is so important that it spins, because I think we saw that CSK's...
That's how interesting this IPL is, because this is match number 15, and tomorrow is a big match where MI take on KKR at the Eden Gardens. Yesterday, you saw MSD in action today, and then you're going to see Rohit Sharma in action. Technically, tonight itself is because we are past 12. Now, in the reverse fixtures, KKR won by 24 runs at Wankhede, broke that 12-year jinx. Can KKR make it 2 out of 2?
Well, I mean, I think tomorrow's going to be a cracking game. I think, some play a cracking game.
Indeed, it would be, is because, KKR are playing for that qualification and for that play of birth. And if they win tomorrow, they get that Q, that official Q in front of their name. But on the other side, indeed, it's number 1 versus number 9. KKR at 16 points. If they win tomorrow, they'd go to 18 points and qualify in the playoffs. Well, that's all we've got on the show today. But thank you so much, gentlemen. Thanks a lot for joining us. And tomorrow it is. You must join JioCinema at 6:30 p.m. sharp as we bring to you MI versus KKR from Eden Gardens Live. Until next time, it's a good night.